this. Hello, everyone. You can't see me yet because I am trying to bring myself up. We'll get this eventually, friends. Okay. I think we are live. Alex, are you there? Alex?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Hi, friends.
Hello, friends. So you've had a minute of pretty much nothing. And now I think you're starting to be able to see us. Let us know what you can or can't see. Oh, I'm still not there. Just working out some kinks, folks. That's what tonight is all about.
I think so, yeah.
There we go. There we are. Now you can see me. Okay, so welcome, everyone. And you still can't see me for some reason.
Can they see me?
They can see you. You're a pulsating A right now, Alex.
There we go. Sorry.
There we go. Now they can see me. Okay, so about
Hello.
2 minutes in, we are visible. Hopefully everybody can hear us. Let's see. Move over to the chat. We have right now live in chat. We have Daniela, and I don't know how to tell in this who else is here. So we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go.
So welcome to the CT Crossroads, our new format for Friday nights, at least until Facebook figures out what they're doing. I'm Alex, and I'm here with, let's try this. That way? This way? Oh, there we go. Who's here? Who's here, Alex?
I don't know. You're Chris. I'm Alex.
Yes. Well, we once more wanted to update everyone on the status of the preservation efforts. We wanted to sort of just chat, touch base with everyone, check in with everyone, especially as things start moving in a direction of, I don't want to say, I hate that. I think Alex hates that too.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, so we'll figure this out. Yeah, what's going on, Alex?
Nothing, man. Just continuing to work from home during the pandemic that we're going through. Super grateful for that, I have to say. I do minimal amounts of going out, which is great too. So super thankful for that. And just got word that my office probably won't be open at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So,
oh wow,
that's kind of gets sense of relief that I at least know where I'll be for at least the next couple of weeks, and I can kind of plan and gauge going forward. So that's really good to hear.
Right.
For me, I know a lot of people don't have that ability or capabilities even, and I know some people do have to go to their offices and whatnot. But for me at least, I'm grateful for that. So that's really awesome for me. How's everything going on your end?
Good. Sorry, I was for those of you watching, I'm not being rude to Alex. I was just making sure everything was going right on my phone.
I couldn't see you if you were being rude, so it's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So everything's status quo here. I'm trying to sort of handle the statements of like how things are going with kids gloves, because I don't want it to seem like I'm minimizing the impact of the virus on people or myself. But I try to stay positive. So like it's status quo. Like it. I mean, things are what they are. We're still living in our very fortunate bubble, which I think you can sort of agree that
Yeah.
most of us around here are pretty fortunate right now. I mean, there's definitely some folks who are not. And yeah, doing well, just working. The library staff returns next week,
Okay.
so we're doing that. And just trying to figure out how we handle the whole like actual like reopening to the public thing. What does that entail? And for me, as someone who does so many things at the library, but one of them being the children's library, our summer reading program has been virtually transformed. It's all virtual now. So,
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you about that if you had anything going forward for your library for programs and stuff. If you're gonna have stuff at the library or not, or if you even do. Yeah.
Oh no, I so a couple weeks ago I made the firm decision to move completely virtual. It didn't make sense to try to like wait and see. I'm a planner. I need to have a plan. And if I don't have a plan, it causes me a lot of anxiety. So I just made the decision to move forward doing that, which I think turned out to be the right one, because we want to keep people safe. But also, if we're not open to the public as of the 1st, summer reading launches on the 13th. We go through July. Like, it's not, who knows what will happen. Like, we can't have big programs. I don't want kids exposed. I don't want older people exposed to kids. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's I think that's the right move for you guys for sure. I mean, I think I hope you have I'm sure you actually do have a lot of programs going forward for kids, grade school kids, that will actually kind of they'll be able to adapt to an online mode as opposed to being in the library mode. So I mean, I'm sure you guys are going to do a great job with that regardless.
So just want to update you, Alex, and actually, so you can well, not on your phone, but you can check out YouTube. So you need another device. But Kim is in the chat. Danielle is in the chat. Claudia is in the chat. Nice. Deborah. So yeah, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well.
Hello everyone. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that's I always like to start with that. Ask them if they have any questions, if they want to know anything.
Yeah. So I mean, Alex, I have a question for you. We could do it this way.
Okay, sure.
Let's see. Coke or Pepsi?
Ooh, wow, that's a really hard question, Chris. Come on. I'd have to say Pepsi. My uncle worked at Pepsi, so I don't know. I actually prefer Pepsi. I'd say a little bit more, but I mean, there's no basis on or any founding knowledge on it. Something about Pepsi I like more than Coke, but
I tend to agree with you.
Wow, I thought we'd have pushback. No,
I know, right? Oh. I'm a Pepsi guy, but
wow. Okay.
Outside of work, what's been keeping you sane, man?
My family for sure. Super grateful for them. They keep me sane.
Is that just because they're in the chat?
Say again?
Is that just because they're in the chat?
No, just normally. It's good to just have people you can always talk to about anything outside of talking to you or talking to other people. It's good to just have family always there to chat if something's going on, if you're stressed or anxious. So that's really they've been my stronghold through this whole pandemic. So I guess I will ask the same question to you.
I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my family as well. We've been fortunate in that we're seeing my mom still, so that's been fun. Good. It's been good for my son. My daughter's
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, and I'm still going to work, so I still have some structure in that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you're a structure guy and a plan guy, so I was gonna ask you, do you think with the whole pandemic going on, do you feel like you have less structure? You can create more plans, or less plans with
I
everything going
thought I
on?
would get so much done.
Hmm.
And it's funny. I don't. I haven't gotten as much done as I thought I would.
Hmm.
And then I read something someplace, and I feel like this is something your mom would say to me if I was talking to her.
Hmm.
It, it's that there's so much trauma going on that it's okay. Like it's okay to not be as productive.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, actually, I feel like that's something you would say too. But yeah, I mean,
It's a
I
possibility.
did you have that same thing? Did you feel like you'd get a lot done through this? Sort of take it for granted, like the trauma of it all.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I thought I'd be like, getting a lot more done. I mean, I have gotten a lot of things done, which oddly enough, but yeah, I thought I'd get more. Even with, just with my job, I feel like, oh, this is more time I'd have, but I'm finding like less and less time, just because, you take for granted, I guess, time in general. There's, time's condensed so much with, work and outside responsibilities, that like, you take everything for granted. And now that I'm home and I have to be home, I don't take, just spending time with, like I said, my family for granted anymore.
Right.
Really, like, not saying I did, but I try and do that less. I like to spend time with them as much as possible, even though we're all homebound. You see them, but it's good to see them after work. That kind of grounds you, for sure.
Yeah, so it's funny that you're talking about that. I was listening to NPR the other day, and they were interviewing the
Hmm.
guy, the son of the guy who wrote Seven Habits of Effective People.
Hmm.
And he was talking about paradigm shifts, which instantly reminded me of the Scientific Revolutions book. But I was like, oh, like I think that's sort of a we may be in one right now, and he was saying the same thing.
Hmm.
That
Interesting.
perhaps, again, we live in this bubble, this like very Connecticut bubble. Uh, you and I'm saying, not
Yeah.
everyone, but um, perhaps what comes out of this is a of people's values and a slowdown of people's expectations. I don't think that is like an unrealistic thing to say that may come out of this, but who knows?
No, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I tend to agree. I mean, I think everyone's kind of going to look at this time as, a time of uncertainty for sure, but a time of, you know, looking at it in like a different way, in different aspects of how they, went about their everyday life prior to the pandemic and during and then after, right? I mean, I think things are definitely going to change, for good or bad. I mean, can't predict the future, but
Right.
I think we might sit down and actually, the old saying, like, take a look at the small things, I think we might actually sit down to actually like look at the small things. Like, there's a hummingbird feeder outside my house. I can't tell you how many times I just sit there some days and just watch it for 5-10 minutes, and just to see if a hummingbird comes by. It's just one of those little things that I'm like intrigued about. Oh, is the hummingbird going to come by today? Can I see it? Can I see it? I don't think I ever would have done that prior, because, not being home or having to go here, go there, do this, do that. Now that, I'm home, I can actually take that peace and time to like look at a hummingbird feed. And it's very relaxing and tranquil.
Right. No, I think that's beautiful, actually. But, so, second question, Alex. You couldn't see.
Oh no.
Up the number two. Um, what are you drinking tonight?
I will show. I have a Lagunitas. Can you see it? A little
Oh,
something.
yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know what it is about it. I just I had Lagunitas 2 weeks ago maybe, and I don't know, something. It's really, really good beer. Very subtle notes of pine in there, so it's a really, really good beer, and it's super refreshing on hot days. So I mean, I definitely recommend it. How about yourself? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm having a glass of rosé.
Ah, nice. Oh, excellent.
Mhm,
Classic.
mhm. I wish I had like a brandy snifter to drink it out of. So.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to stop right now and sort of apologize to everyone in advance. Like, so this episode, we're sort of trying to wait. Can we call these episodes now? Is that it?
Yeah, I think we can. I think we've had enough under our belt where we can call these episodes.
Okay.
I
So
think that's okay.
Friday Night Chats episode, I think 4, 5. I don't know.
5? I think it's 5.
So I'm apologizing in advance because I just want to. We're working through some technical issues here. Last week was a travesty, and I know I took it a lot harder than Alex did, but it was really unfortunate that our conversation with Bill Devlin was not only cut short, but was just not as good as it could have been. I know I was incredibly distracted because I was working out technical issues. You guys couldn't hear me. So we want to spend some time tonight just sort of chatting, seeing how this works out, seeing how things go. So if everybody who's watching could take time as they're doing this, and if there are any issues with sound, any issues with video, if it's blurry, just let us know in the chat if you're here. I don't know how many people are here, so but yeah, we'll go from there. But we'll talk about some Crossroads stuff too. But I think this is a good time to sort of touch base with all of you and touch base with us too. So
No, I agree with you. I was gonna actually just say the same thing before you said it. But yeah, if you guys could let us know, if everyone there could let us know. If you can hear us okay, if the video is okay, if this is kind of better than if you were on the Facebook Live ones, if this is better, we'd appreciate to know because we're trying out different type of modalities just to kind of hammer down one that really works well because I know I value this and I know Chris does too. These Friday night episodes or chats, and we hope you do as well. So we kind of want to hammer down a good way to host them, and your feedback's much appreciated, and we do need it because if us looking at it like, oh, this is great, but if you can't see it or hear it, it does us no good.
yeah, and I mean, like, I'm just so bummed. I had so many good questions for Bill. Like,
I know
both did, and
but
so
for it back.
We will have him back, and in fact, next week, folks, we do have a guest for you.
We're gonna leave you in suspense.
What's that? Yeah, we're gonna leave you in suspense. We have a very, very important announcement coming up, and we're waiting on it to get because we want to iron some things out. But I think it's something that Alex and I are super psyched about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for that. Actually, yeah. We could maybe set it forth in 2 Fridays, maybe 3 Fridays.
Yeah, 2 or we maybe even with Mike next week. I ruined it.
They don't know who though. They don't know which Mike. So yeah. So
we can talk about Mike. So next week we're gonna have Mike Wynn on. Mike Wynn is he's sort of like he's Connecticut Crossroads adjacent. He does some of our social media stuff. He's a super good guy. He's helped us out. And Alex can you wanna do a blurb on Mike?
Yeah, he does a lot of social media aspects. And we're basically hosting him. We want to talk about social media and community, digital infrastructure community, and just have a kind of a holistic conversation and see what his thoughts are on that for sure. Because I know he does a lot of that through his job and work, and it's going to be. I think it'll be a really interesting conversation. Not similar to Bill Devlin, but I think it'll kind of draw some parallels that are similar, and then I think there'll be similar type of questions. I think we'll kind of expand from that conversation as well.
I mean, not everyone's going to be,
No,
Mike is going to be awesome because I think it's in this sort of crazy time that we're living in. I think talking about how we build community through digital platforms is an important conversation.
Yeah, and I think right now, especially with the pandemic, social media and these digital platforms is what we're going on, right? Everyone's hosting Zoom meetings, Google Hangout meetings, Skype meetings, whatever it is, you're hosting something digitally. So I think next week will be really interesting to hear from him, our perspectives on it too, because I'm sure, I don't know if you do, but I know I use other digital platforms too for other committees I'm on and other stuff through work I do. You know, we're always constantly on some sort of video chat, and that's kind of been the only way we can work, right? So I mean, that's the only way you can contact work people or your committee members. So I mean, it's definitely taking on a life of its own right now, because before this, I didn't even know about some of these things. So
Right.
who knew? Like Zoom, I had no idea about that before March. So call me stupid.
Yeah, who knew it would become such like an important part of our lives? I mean,
Yeah.
I with my boss regularly on Google Meets, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
Google's answer to Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
that's,
yeah, I mean, they're all similar. I think the digital platform, whatever you're using, it's all similar. I think people probably took them for granted. They didn't really know about it and didn't really push the issue. But now that you have to use it, everyone's like, oh God, I can't live without this
Right.
thing that I'm using. Because how would I talk to my boss, or how would I talk to my coworkers? How would I talk to person X, person Z? You know, it's crazy.
I need to throw this out there too. So like
Mm-hmm.
Alex and I believe firmly in finding beauty in the mundane. I think that's sort of been
Mm-hmm.
a guiding tenet of the Crossroads project since the beginning. So if you think you're interesting or you don't, come on with us. I mean, we will talk with anyone, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we can. Alex and I can sort of find some sort of underlying thread in your being to have you on.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's
Um,
what makes the CT Crossroads project what it is. We love hearing, or we love having conversations with anyone and just seeing where that conversation goes. Granted, we do have, certain questions we ask, but it pretty much is fluid. It just goes and it evolves, and then from whatever you answer, we ask those questions, follow up questions if we have them, or you might even come up with a question and then ask, and then we kind of answer, and it
Right.
spills over into that. I mean, that's the beauty of this project, and that's why I love it so much. It's just a holistic conversation, and it can go anywhere, and that's what I love it. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm sure
mean
you do
that.
too. I think that's why you love it so much too.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is I'm like a fairly introverted person, but like I love having one-on-one conversations with
Mm-hmm.
folks. Like that's what I miss in this whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
having
Oh,
one-on-one
absolutely.
conversations with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how much I'd miss that. I was like, thank God I won't have to deal with anyone. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's interesting. And I'm looking specifically. I think Kim, your wife, might be an interesting conversation. So Kim, you're in the chat.
Yeah,
Jean
we have to
Calais.
get.
I'm calling people out right now.
Yeah, we have to get all these people. A Mike Wynn, for instance, we have to get him
Mike
too.
Wynn. So as far as updates on the Crossroads project, so we have a few new pandemic preservation effort conversations going on in the coming from Bridgewater. So those are great. I'm excited. Actually, there'll be some from kids as well. So that's really good. We have Alex and I have an interview coming up, hopefully in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We seem to miss it for some reason this week, but it'll work itself out. So we have
Oh, we have a question.
a question. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the question. It's where do you guys see the project going now with the present Sitch? Sorry.
Sitch.
Um,
Um,
oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Alex, I think I'm going to let you take lead on this. I feel like I do so much of the talking.
I talk enough during the day. It's fine. I personally think we're gonna hopefully whenever we all can see each other again. I would like to have our normal conversation platform we usually had before, which was at the library we had one-on-one conversations, or me, you, and another person conversation. But I think we're going to stay with a digital type format like this, weekly or bi-weekly. Either if this is working out well, which it seems like it is, because we haven't had any bad feedback on it, so that's good news, right? With these type of conversations, and I'm hoping too as well, and I'm sure Chris too, doing some sort of maybe digital conversations as well, with people that maybe can't come in for whatever reason. That's where I hope. That's where I see this going, and I I'm going to push, as and I'm sure Chris will too. We're going to push it as far as we can go with that, to make it as easy for everyone to give us their conversations, give us feedback on how their conversation went, if it's on the digital mode or just in person as well.
Yeah, I think all of those things. I think this has sort of been as all like sort of good ideas come from just sort of happenstance most of the time. Um, this has sort of led us to some interesting ideas that I don't think we probably would have pursued otherwise. I'm not going to mince words here, and the fact that the Crossroads project had sort of plateaued briefly. We hadn't had a huge amount of interviews. I mean, we were still doing things. Just wasn't the growth I would like, I guess. I think that's and I of course want growth. But so like this sort of platform right here, I think is great. Having this exposure is great. I think having this sort of forum for the community to reach out to us on a regular basis is sort of interesting and community building in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So, but also, like I think moving forward, we continue to have our normal conversations because that's what this is about. But maybe they happen like this once in a while, and that's cool. Or maybe they happen over Zoom or Skype or whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine. I know Alex and I have also talked about after our thing with Bill last week. Maybe we start a hosting conversation.
Oh yes.
Maybe we do this as a service and like a sort of an offshoot of the Crossroads project to help promote community conversations in a broader sense, not just one-on-one, not just preserving the quote unquote mundane, but talking about bigger topics, because I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in such a polarizing time, Alex and I are actually fairly like willing to listen. I mean, I'm not saying we agree with everyone, but we're willing to listen. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think that lends us to having conversations like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so digital conversations, this thing, whatever this is, episode, whatever of whatever, and larger casual conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I want to build on what we're doing now and expand to other towns, obviously. And get as many people in as we can, and not just as you alluded to, not just have what we usually do is that mundane conversation, but just broaden it to just having that conversation about anything, just posing whatever, and then just having a talk about it. And it always seems to, no matter what we discuss, it always seems to lead back to community. Even when we just speak, me and you, and it always goes back to community, always.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like sort of something that's at the core of both you and I. We like making those connections. We personally like making those connections, but we also like making those connections for other people. Mm-hmm. So, and we always see the potential in things. I think, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah. So Claudia is saying set a topic in advance and question
in advance.
Yeah. So I think are you talking about, Claudia? Are you talking about like these things? Because if you are, and I'll just sort of riff on that, like we generally do. I do a bad job of promoting it on Facebook, which I hope YouTube will sort of break us out of that. I did a lot of promoting about it with our Bill Devlin talk. Alex and I usually set a topic the week before, or a few days before. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe a little bit more structure might be better. But I also think, and I think I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, Alex, but I think you sort of like this sort of off the cuff stuff too. You know,
Yeah.
we would love that
Oh,
you guys for you guys to throw more stuff at us too. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, I like this type of thing we're doing now, like off the cuff, is good. I do tend to agree. We do have questions or a topic we usually have for a Friday, and then that usually broadens to the questions we do ask. So, I mean, we could come up with some questions beforehand, and then maybe hand them out to like the audience, or email them out before, put it on YouTube before, say these are the questions, please write your answers in on the chat. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. And I mean, I think that's kind of what this is doing now, because we're coming up with just random stuff off the cuff as we're doing. And it's leading us into different areas, and we're coming up with different questions to ask.
Yeah, I think so. Claudia says people would sign up in advance and pose questions. And then Claudia also do love off the cuff as well, and prop do works well. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to minimize the fact that we probably do need to be better about like doing a little bit of structure, impromptu. I want these sort of conversations, these sort of just us talking with all of you regularly, but I also want to have these things like we had with Bill. And I think these are sort of two separate things, which sort of swoops back to the whole thing about us doing more broader community conversations on topics, like topical conversations with panelists. Like, I think that'd be great. I don't know if we quite have the technical prowess right now to host multi-speaker conversations. Yeah, we could probably do it through Zoom. Or Google Meets or whatever. My one thing about that, I worry that that's sort of you're like closing the door on people. I don't know, and I maybe the YouTube live thing is sort of that way too, and that's why I'm sort of hesitant to do it. But I don't want to make it. I want people to just be able to drop in the middle of our conversations. Like, I think that is like excellent. But maybe that goes away when we have those specific conversations with people, or our experts. We'll call them expert conversations for the sake of this. Like, what do you think, Alex?
You broke up there. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said that we'll call them expert conversations for the sake of this forum.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are expert conversations.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
they're number one. They're tops. They're tops in the game, man. I think hosting them on this platform, again, we're new to this whole digital thing as well. When we're trying new things, and once we get something that's concrete, I think we'll be able to expand and make it better going forward. Again, with Zoom, or you use Google, I understand completely your hesitancy to it, and that's part of mine as well. I know you can. If you join a Zoom meeting late, you can still come in on them. Same thing with Google. You can kind of still come in late, but you might lose something there, right? As YouTube, this platform, same thing. Facebook Live, it's kind of like the same thing. You can come in late, but you still miss something, right? But once we hammer down a good platform to use, and we have a concrete platform where we're going to do it, and people know where we're going to be at, I think it'll be kind of, that's that Friday night chat with Chris and Alex. Got to set aside time from 8:15 to 8:50 or 9 o'clock or 9:15, whatever time we go to. And again, if we have, I agree too. Again, with the structure, I apologize as well. Not having structure tonight necessarily, but this is we're just trying this out tonight, just trying to make sure that this goes well. We didn't want to bring someone in like Bill again, or Mike, or whoever. Just to bring them in and then have it short out again, or not be able to hear them or see them, and it would be a disservice to them, but also a disservice to you guys listening. And that's the main thing is you guys listening, who keep us going, keep us motivated every day.
I just Alex, you didn't see it, but I just like jumped, and it's because I have a lamp that's pointing at me to illuminate my face, and it just fell. So I think we'll start wrapping things up, Alex. I think this is
Yeah.
kind of good. It's been about 35 minutes.
Hmm.
Well, I honestly wouldn't mind going for an hour, but I don't want also don't want to take people's times,
Yeah.
too much of people's time. So maybe we'll talk about that in the future. We want to know, Alex and I both want to know what you want. We want to know what you want from this. We want to know what
Drop.
you
Yes.
want from the Connecticut Crossroads Project. Um, Alex and I haven't embarked on any sort of strategic planning for the Crossroads projects. Um,
Outside of what we were doing before, really. That's it.
yeah, outside of this conversation.
Yeah.
So like I want to know what you all want.
Hmm.
I know Alex does too. So
And you have our emails there. Email us with your suggestions, questions, anything. Nothing is off topic. Just please, the emails are right there. Email us. I know Chris checks his religiously, hourly. I check mine daily, if not every other day. So uh, you'll get a response, relatively quickly on anything that you have. During these conversations, please chat us. Let us know what you want, what you're expecting. What you'd like to see us do. Because again, we love this project. I know Chris started this and he did it for a reason, and he loved it and the passion behind it. And I joined on because I saw the passion in his eyes and his voice, and everything that this project stands for. But it's about you. It's about the people that we have conversations with and the people we host this for. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your conversations. We want to hear what you're going through. We want to hear about everything. So, I mean, whatever you want us to do is what we'll do.
yeah, and I think that's that's probably more eloquent than I could have put, Alex. We will do what we need to do.
Hmm.
We want your memories. We want to hear from you. We want to connect you with people. Um,
And you can also give us more than one, too, honestly, too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and
By all means.
it's funny that you mentioned that, Alex. I was actually thinking about doing another one.
Hmm.
Um,
Me as well, actually.
yeah, I mean,
Great minds think alike. Thank
and maybe this is a good time to say, like, and I think I wanted to say this, and I completely forgot because I didn't make any notes for tonight. Um, as this changes, update us. Like, so we went out for the first time as a family, just for a walk, like not to be around anyone, not to do anything, but we went for a walk. And so I took this picture or Jenny, pardon me, Jenny took this picture of Eli and I with me putting his mask on. And like, it's going on the archive. So,
you. Oh, no.
I mean, and that's the other thing. And I don't think I've made this super clear. You can send us anything. We'll put pictures on there, anything that has to do with this and the impact on our community, which is such a broad thing. Don't think too much about it. Just send it.
Hmm. That's the thing. Just sit down and record yourself. Don't think about it. Just start recording yourself. I mean, those are sometimes the best memories and conversations we get.
Right.
Don't have a script out there reading what you wrote down. Just go off the cuff like we're doing tonight. Just talk about what you're going through. For this pandemic, preservation specifically for that, but just in general, if you want to have a conversation with us, if you want us to record your memory, it's going to be just like this. It's literally just us talking. There's nothing else. It's just us having a conversation. It can be about anything, honestly.
And if you're uncomfortable, because I know some people have moved in this direction, write your memory.
Oh, yes.
That's
point.
another good thing. Or just write it. I mean, I'd prefer
Yeah.
it recorded, but because I like hearing people's voices. But if you're really not comfortable, I mean, if you're comfortable with recording, you're just worried you won't be eloquent. Write it down and just read your script. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I know we got this question, I think it was last time or maybe 2 weeks ago, about your children's preservation. Yes, if you have kids, you want to record them, you want to have them write something. We want that too. We want to hear from them as well. Because this affects every age group, age bracket, everyone differently, and it's a unique time in our history. And the more conversations we have, I think the better for everyone going forward.
Right. So, Alex, as I always try to do, and I usually forget, and like weekly recommendations. You You want me to?
You can go first this time. I went first last time. I got a
Okay.
good recommendation. Yeah.
So my recommendation is a great podcast that has since it's no longer in existence. Like they're not recording new episodes, but it's sort of
Yes.
tangentially why the Crossroads Project became a thing. It's called Hometown Tales. And these guys are hilarious. They've recently reunited and done some new stuff, but yeah, they just talk about local lore and legends, and which is not what we do, but it's sort of what we do. So that's my recommendation.
Well, my recommendation is completely nowhere near that. So awesome. You did a really good one. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Great job. It kind of ties everything in here, and I'm going to go way out in left field. But
Is it going to be beer? Is it beer?
No, it's not. Honestly, no, it's not. If you want to have some fun, you like music, you like getting down with your bad self, dancing a little bit. State of Trance is actually putting out new weekly podcasts every week of new dance music, electronic dance music, EDM type stuff like that. And it's every Wednesday, but they also do shows from what I just found out on Saturday nights too. You could just sign into a State of Trance, and it's basically like a 2-hour live sets, and you can just kind of dance and feel good about it. Feel good about life if you don't already.
I've been
dance. Did I say that again? Did I say
that
enough? Dance and dance and dance and dance.
Just dance.
Yes, just dance.
Okay, friends. So you have seen sides of us that you probably haven't seen before. Mostly me. So
I feel like me too. Trust me.
We're gonna wrap it up. I don't know about you, Alex, but I really dig this platform. I think it seems more stable.
I will say too, because when you told me to go on, I actually brought up YouTube, and it looks really, really good. I really like this too. I hope everyone else does as well. So continue. Sorry to cut you off again.
Yeah, so we didn't have nearly as many views, I don't think, but maybe we'll do it. Maybe I'll create an event on Facebook and put the link in that event, because that way we can invite people. But this is all behind the scenes strategizing nonsense. So we'll chat with all of you soon. I hope you guys stay healthy and safe, and as things start to open up, I hope you stay healthy and safe, and just do what makes you happy.
Absolutely. Can't agree more, man.
Peace out, guys, and I'm gonna end the stream right now. Thank you so much.
Deuces.